Thor. What is it good for? Well, we'll tell you in this after credits. Welcome to After Credits, part of the Popcornography podcast subscription, and here on YouTube too. We've just come out of seeing Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, one of the big releases of the year, I would say. It's been a lot of build up to this.
It has. To be honest, on my time hop today, I had a tweet I sent 2 years ago, and I remember sending that tweet and thinking, I can't wait for that film. Has it been worth the wait?
Well, you know what? Out of the three Thor films, I would say is probably the best one. But I didn't think the first two Thor films were the best Marvel films. Out of all the Marvel films that have been out, I didn't think the first two were the best. And I think they just wanted to correct that and just go for all-out entertainment on this third film.
That's the thing, right? Thor, the first two, I agree. I still enjoyed them, but they were pretty average films. And I think he's the god of thunder. He's overly powered, and they tried to keep it in a lot of reality, and it didn't quite work. It was too grounded. It
was, and they went down the relationship route, didn't they, and all kinds of other things. I don't know, the first two films, they were Marvel, they were enjoyable, but this third one, they just completely decided to change everything, didn't they?
From the trailers, from the promotional material, it looked like it was going to be kind of Guardians-like.
It did, and I think they did pull, you brought up a good point there, they have pulled a lot of the energy from Guardians across to this film. And because Thor Ragnarok, it's no secret, it's meant to be about the destruction of Asgard. That's the whole idea about what Thor Ragnarok is in the comics. It's meant to be quite dark, and it's quite a dark storyline, but this is not a dark film at all, is it?
I see what you mean. Did you ever feel like they were in peril? Like,
no, that's what I'm trying to think in my mind. Did they take the humour too far? Was it too light-hearted? Was it too much entertainment? But it was only a 12A, wasn't it? So so there's a lot of young kids watching that, and it's a fantastic family film. I do like the Doctor Strange coming in as well. He has a little cameo.
Aye, Doctor Strange.
As everyone knows, he was in it, but I like his little cameo.
Yeah.
That was quite good. And Helena, the main villain, I thought she played a fantastic part.
This is something you have a bit of a gripe with Marvel films. You never really like the villains, do you?
No. Well, no, I think that sometimes, like Age of Ultron and some of the other films, that the villains were always seemed quite weak and underpowered and no threat. And her presence when she comes in,
Cate Blanchett, isn't it?
Yeah, she knocks it out the park.
She really does.
She does. She really dominates every scene that she's in, and I think that's the idea.
I think to have a villain in this film as well, with Thor being so powerful, and obviously the Hulk's in it as well, like, you need a formidable villain, don't you? And she does it.
You did. Yeah. But coming on to a more critical side now, Rick, a more critical side. I did think the power levels were all over the place in this film. One minute a character was really strong, and the next minute they looked quite average and quite weak. And I'm not just talking about Hulk, Thor, but they just all seemed to just change on whatever the plot needed or whatever required at the time. And they seemed to be either massively powerful or quite average, actually, and quite weak.
Yeah, it did jump around quite a lot.
The power levels and everything, it just seemed to be quite inconsistent. But I think their main concern was just entertainment. They just wanted to keep it light-hearted, funny, entertaining. What do you think about all the new style, like the 80s retro neon lights?
Very colourful. I like it. I do. Like we said at the beginning, like, the Thor films were dark, and it didn't really suit that. He's a character they can have more fun with. I think there is other characters where they can be more grounded and a little bit dark. I'd love to see a Black Widow film, and that could be really like spy thriller type of film. You know what I mean? Like, certain characters suit certain genres and stuff, and that's what they did wrong with Thor from the start. It should have been more.
I think that's what they realised. I mean, the way that they went with it, the humour and everything that was in it, they were kind of playing it safe. I mean, how can you not like a film that was entertaining, had loads of little jokes in all the way through, and made you smile and laugh?
Yeah.
And what do you think about the other character then, the rock dude, Korg?
Yeah, he wasn't in any of the promotion material, as far as I can remember. Like, he kind of came out of nowhere, and he added so much humour to it, didn't he?
He did. He had some fantastic one-liners. Just some of the stuff he came out with, everyone was laughing their heads off.
Yeah, Korg, voiced by the director, which is...
I didn't know that.
Which is odd. That's how you make sure you're still involved with all Marvel films going forward, isn't it?
Oh, well, he made sure he got the best lines then, didn't he, as a director?
Tack out Oh, here we go. Taka
Taka
Wakatiti.
Taka Wakatiti.
Something like that. And I really liked Tessa Thompson as well, the Valkyrie, building up to be like a kind of love interest. It's very, very light though, isn't it? The love interest in this, but you can see there's something.
You can see there's something there. Yeah, there's something there.
She was brilliant.
She was brilliant. The sort of they brought the Hulk. Might have seen the trailers. They brought the Hulk into it a little bit more. He plays a bit more of a part. And apparently the Hulk's part in this and all the future movies is what the Hulk's going to be. It's not going to be a standalone movie or anything else.
They can't do it
because part of what he is.
Rights with Universal, they can't do it. But they have said that this is the start of his journey. He's got like a kind of story to tell, and they're going to do it through different characters' films by the sound of it, which I think makes sense because he is just a hulking beast of rage. He suits to like these character cameo type movies, don't you?
He does, yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't know. He always seemed a bit weaker than me than I expect the Hulk to be, and
that's one thing, right? In this film, like I always want him to be unbelievable power.
Yeah,
and he is, but
that's what the power levels were just all over the place. But all the characters, it wasn't just the Hulk. All the characters seem to have different levels of power depending on what the plot required at a certain time in the film. But that was part of it, I guess.
Yeah, I think in that the Gladiator fight, I would have liked to have seen him fight somebody prior to Thor.
Because that was the big thing from the trailers, the fight.
Yeah,
Hulk.
And it just jumps to that fight, doesn't it? Where there's not. I'd have liked a bit more build up to that bit, I think.
I know there's a lot of CGI work involved in that as well. But yes, I completely agree. And it's not a spoiler, but I would have liked the fight to have been longer. I would have liked to have seen more of a fight.
Yeah.
It was not a massively long scene, was it?
No, that's why I think having another fight in there prior, or would have been quite nice.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Special effects though were incredible.
They were fantastic, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Marvel have got it sorted, the cinema. They're so good at telling a story, putting hooks in there to make sure you watch the next chapter, and just keep on going and going.
What they've built is amazing. I cannot fathom how hard that must be for them to make them all work like this and all fit. But they've done it again. They really have, haven't they? Like, this is a brilliant film. One of the best Marvel ones, I would say. I would say it's quite high up.
I think it's pretty high up. I wouldn't more than the Captain America ones, because they're pretty good as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Captain America still has it for me. Maybe the first Iron Man.
See, the Iron Man, the first one was the best, and then it went a little bit downhill by the time it got to the third one. Thor's the other way around. I think
it's got better as
it's got better.
Well, no, actually, the second one.
The second one was the first one was probably the So the third one was the best. The first one was the second best, and the second one was not as good.
Final thoughts on Thor Ragnarok?
A fantastic movie. It's good for all ages, families. Not too much violence, not too much swearing. There's hardly any, is there? Essentially, entertaining all the way through. Colourful, vibrant. And just an enjoyable ride from start.
So much energy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Out of 5.
I don't want to take it to 5 yet. I don't want to take it to 5.
It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
It's not a 5.
Because there are a few things where perhaps it was a bit too silly all the way through.
Yeah.
Perhaps the power levels, I said, were all over the place as well.
And it didn't have that any kind of pearl in there.
Yeah. So I'm going to give it a 4.
4.
4.
I would agree with you, Dean.
But a definite shout out to one of the best villains we've had for quite a while.
Definitely. Well done, Marvel.
She was a fantastic villain, yeah.
Until Thanos turns up.
Yes.
He has to be incredible, doesn't he? He has to be.
Yeah, he's going to be the main villain,
yeah. That's Thor Ragnarok with a 4 out of 5. I've been Rick.
I've been Dean.
Thank you for listening, and we will see you again soon.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.